You're knowing what you're wanting?
Yes.
Liar, liar, liar. Well, it changes fast, doesn't it?
Yes.
Life just dishes up more clarity about what you want moment by moment by moment by moment. So that's really not the best question because, of course, new desires coming all the time and mostly you don't really know it. Because mostly you're not really keeping up to speed with the new desire as fast as it's hatched. Did you follow that? Contrast helps you to ask for something more, but you are usually, rarely, a vibrational match to the new desire in the moment that you ask for. There's a vibrational variance between this new preference and where you are standing vibrationally. Do you understand that? If you do, then we're off and running. Because we're talking about vibrational variances. And if you are understanding first that you are a vibrational being and that there is a vibrational relationship between you and what you are perceiving right here and now, and that expanded version of you, which is the part of you that includes that newly hatched desire. If you understand that there is this vibrational variance or not. Now, if there's no vibrational variance, in other words, if you want something, if you hold a desire for something, and even though it has not yet manifested, let's start in a new place. If you desire something that has manifested, did that twist your brain into a knot? If you desire something that has manifested, there are plenty of things like that in your life, aren't there? Things that you desire, that you understand, that you know. There is no vibrational variance between this that you desire and your now recognition of it. That is a good place to start, isn't it? But what about those things that you want that have not yet manifested? And what we want to help you to understand is that even though you haven't realized them in the fullest sense and in the sense you want, in other words, even though they haven't manifested, they haven't actualized, they haven't materialized, they haven't demonstrated themselves to you in the fullest way that you want so that you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, even though it's not all happening just like that for you, still, it is a desire that does exist, and you do own it vibrationally if you could just let yourself know that. And by that we mean if you are not discouraged about what hasn't demonstrated itself fully, if you want it and feel good about wanting it, that's the other way of saying it. If you desire it and the desire feels good to you while you are desiring it, then there's no vibrational variance. And when there's no vibrational variance, new words we haven't said to you before. Do you like them? No vibrational variance. When there's no vibrational gap between your newly hatched desires or your oldly hatched desires and where you stand, when there's no variance, then there's no resistance. And since there is a path of no resistance, now you must realize it. We want to talk about how fun it is along the path, even when there is a little resistance. Because sometimes going down a path that has some resistance also brings more clarification about what you want. How are you going to know what you want if you don't have some variety in your experience? So we think that what's freaking you out, it does freak you out. We think that what's freaking you out about things that you desire that have not shown up fully in your experience is that you continue to be a vibrational variance to them, and that's the freak out. Everything that you want is because you think you will feel better in the having of it, whether it's a material object or a pile of money or a relationship, a circumstance, an event. Doesn't matter what it is. Everything that you want is because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. And as we are together today, and before you leave, we would like you to really come to realize that the having of it can happen immediately, the vibrational having of it. Now we know that's so annoying. You want the money in your bank and the lover in your bed and blah, 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 blah. We know. You want the materialization of it. But we want you to understand that if you can, just for a little while, focus upon the vibrational nature of your being, and just for a little while use the emotional guidance system that you were born with that is explicitly about understanding that vibrational variance or absence of it. In other words, are you in alignment with what you're asking for, or are you in resistance to what you're asking for? So as you begin to consciously pay attention to how you are feeling, and you begin to deliberately offer your thoughts with the intention of soothing that gap, of soothing that resistance, of allowing yourself to be a vibrational match to what you're asking for, as you begin to just focus a little more precisely, it's our promise to you that you will begin to feel a whole lot better. And on the heels of feeling a whole lot better, on the close heels of feeling a whole lot better, consistently better, all kinds of demonstrations that you're on the right path, meaning the path to what you are desiring, demonstrations to let you know that, and manifestations that are evidence of you and what you want being in the same vibrational place, and therefore being in the same manifested place. You can't be a vibrational variance and get it. It's just that simple. So recently, in one of the seminars, we made a statement that you inspired from us that said, when you don't say what you mean, the universe knows what you mean. So let's say that you are upset about something, but you're pretending that you are not. So you have a smile on your face, and you're using those nice words, but you don't mean what you're saying. Well, the universe hears what you mean and responds to what you mean. So some have said, fake it until you make it. And we say, nice try. Because what you mean is what you mean, and what you mean is how you feel. So if you feel uncomfortable about something, you have to be the soother of that discomfort. You have to be the soother of that discomfort. And that's such an interesting thing, because you are surrounded by so many annoying people who, if they would just behave better, you would feel better. We know that's what you think. But we want you to begin now to take complete responsibility for the way you feel, and let all of them off the hook for a few reasons, but this is the most important one. You can't control them. And when you try, you just mess your life up. And you teach yourself something over and over again. You try something that doesn't work over and over again until you begin to feel unworthy because what you want doesn't come, or defeated because it's harder than it ought to be. And so today we want to help you to come into awareness first, and you're so close to being there, in many cases already there, that it's going to be an easy conversation. Awareness of what you're doing vibrationally. And then we'll just talk for all of the time that we are together about ways, and you will help us demonstrate how to come into more steady vibration alignment with who you are. We have just a couple of things that we want to say to you, just as a sort of basis so that we all get off on the same vibrational wavelength. First, you are vibration. We've already talked about that. Next, you are always emitting a signal. So you're always transmitting a signal that law of attraction is responding to. Law of attraction is bringing to you thoughts and experiences that match the signal that you're offering. And as you're moving through your days, even though there are a lot of different subjects, you don't vary that much on the signal that you're offering. Because how you feel is pretty much how you feel. Now, we know you have highs and lows and ups and downs. You're all sort of bipolar. You are. You are. Because you are sometimes in complete alignment with who you are and feeling your empowerment, which means you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, you're full of enthusiasm. You just want to talk, you just want to share, you just want to move, you just want to exhibit the happiness that you feel, and sometimes not so much. And the reason that sometimes not so much is because sometimes you get focused upon things that you've been focused upon before that have a sort of strong attraction power. So you can be up and down and up and down and up and down many times during a day. You just usually aren't that up and down. It's sort of, the tone of the day is sort of usually what goes through the day. You say, oh, this has been a bad day, or I've got out of bed on the wrong side, or I'm off on the wrong foot. So we really want to talk about, and we will with you all the hours that we're together, we want to talk about setting that vibrational tone. And after we tell you a couple of stories that will help you to understand why that's so important, then we'll just move forward into the things that you specifically want to talk about. So, you were source energy before you came into this physical body. Some of you are understanding that. Do you know that? And even though you were that then, and then you came into this body, you still are that now, even though you're in this body. In other words, there is a non-physical counterpart to you. A balanced counterpart. It's this pure positive energy you that every time you sift through the desired by you contrast in your time-space reality, you launch a preference. We call them rockets of desires because they move outward from you. You project them, you emit them, you transmit them. And when you transmit that signal of desire, this non-physical part of you immediately becomes a vibrational equivalent of that new amended you that just happened because of this expansion that just took place. Which means every time you emit a new desire, there is now a potential of you being split from it, of you having split energy, because you just became something more vibrationally that you're not physically, in terms of your now personality, up to speed with. And that we just explained to you right there is the reason for literally every emotion that you feel. Because when you've become something that you're not up to speed with, you feel that difference. As you come to be up to speed with it, then you feel the ease and clarity that comes from that. So all day long, you are in varying degrees in alignment or not, in allowance or not, of that furthest expanded part of you. And nothing else is important for you to ever understand about anything, because you came to be the creator of your own experience, and you are that all day long. And you are launching these rockets, and the larger part of you is becoming them and holding the signal of that new expanded you with such clarity, with such brilliance, with such high-powered wattage of vibrational output, that you can feel in every moment your vibrational relationship to that. It's just that simple. Now we know for some of you, if it's new in hearing that's sort of a boring, maybe even hard concept to get your thoughts around. But we promise by the time that we are at the ending today, you will understand that fully. Because nothing matters more than that you are moving in the direction of that which you have become. You don't have to be up to speed with it completely. You don't have to know it, because in the moment you know it, it's manifested, and there's a whole lot of fun on the journey. So we're not talking about closing the gap and standing there in a closed gap, because you were born into an experience where you intended to have plenty of step one moments where contrast causes you to ask. So you're going to ask all day, and you're going to have gaps always between who you have become and what you are allowing yourself to be. We're not talking about getting rid of that gap. We're asking you to manage it. We're asking you to enjoy the vibrational ride of moving in the direction of what you've become instead of moving in opposition to what you've become. That's all. Because there's always going to be a new desire. There's always going to be a new journey. There's always going to be more that you are on your way to allowing yourself to manifest fully. So we don't want you to be tentative and guarded about trying to control your thoughts. We want you to think clearly. We just want you to gently and often guide your thoughts in the direction of what feels good to you. Because when you guide your thoughts in the direction of what feels good to you, now you are on your path. Now you feel good. Now all is well. And did we say it's an eternal path? Did we say that it never ends? Did we say you never get it done and you can't get it wrong? Well, we want to say it's an eternal path. You never get it done and you can't get it wrong either. You can't get it wrong.